Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Aaliyah. If you are new, if you're returning, welcome back to my channel. I know, long time no see. I have been super busy for the last month. I think it's been a month, if not 3 weeks, something like that. And I am finally back to filming. So before we get started, yes, I'm in a different location because I am back home for the summer. I usually come back home for the summer. I spend the summer with my family, especially since I was living in Kennesaw for those 2 semesters. And yeah, I think that's pretty much it. Something else I wanted to address before we get started is I've also been staying away from YouTube and focusing my time on the Black Lives Matter movement. I have been reading a lot of articles. I have been reading a lot of stories. I have been looking at a lot of videos. I really want to support the Black Lives movement. If you are against that in any way, shape, or form, I'm sorry. I think it's best that we don't communicate, that you don't watch my videos, because I am going to use my YouTube and my Instagram, my Twitter, my Snapchat, my Facebook, all of my social media. I'm going to use it all to promote the Black Lives Matter movement. I wanted to mention that before I even got straight into the video. And I think that's pretty much all I have to say right now. Just know that if you're not comfortable with that movement, if you're not comfortable with me talking about it, then it's just best that you don't watch my videos. Today's video is going to be a recap of my first year at Kennesaw / my junior year of college. Just so the video is not long, let's go ahead and get started. So I wrote some notes down, so if you guys see me looking down, I'm looking at those. So I'm going to start with my first semester. This semester I adjusted from living near all of my family to living 3.5 hours away from them. So that was something that I had to get used to. Something else that I had to get used to was living away from Nakia. If you guys don't know, Nakia is my twin sister, and this was our first time separating, or our first time being away from each other. But it ended up being great because we learned to, be without each other, and we still saw each other, so it's not like, I didn't see her at all. Let me go ahead and get started on the first semester. So first semester, I took 3 classes at the school, 1 class online. That was my decision. I wanted to take at least 1 class online my first semester because I was used to having at least 1 class that was online from my previous years in college. So I definitely wanted to take an online class, which I did. I really had to branch out when I came to KSU. I know a few people who go to Kennesaw, but other than that, not very many. So of course, like I said, I had to branch out. I had to meet new people, and it was fine. So my first 2 months, I spent a lot of that time really getting to know the campus, looking up events, talking to people in class, seeing what was going on, and everything like that. I met my friend Z in class. I met my friend Stephanie in class, and I really just spent a lot of time figuring out what they were doing because they have already been here for a while, or already been at Kennesaw for a while. I not only spent time in Kennesaw, but I also spent time back home, and I also spent time in Clemson. So I went to my very first event at Kennesaw. I do have a video of me getting ready for that event. I'll make sure I link it in the iCard above. I forgot which side the iCard is, but it will be above, just so you guys know and can watch that video. And that was like a sorority event. All of our sororities and fraternities were coming out. I really enjoyed that event. And after that, I started going to a lot of the Clemson games. So I was back and forth going to Clemson. I do have a couple Clemson videos as well, so I'll be sure to link those above in the iCard as well. I wasn't too lonely, like I said, because when I was going up to Clemson, my sisters were as well. So I saw them whenever we went to the games. And also I had Zach coming to visit. With me living in Kennesaw, Zach only lives an hour away. So he was there just about every month. In August, like I said, I went to that event. In September, I went to a Clemson game, and I also went home. I went home 3 times this semester. but the first time was in September. Then in October, we had our homecoming. Megan performed at our homecoming, which was amazing, 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 amazing. I think I should still have some videos, so I'll insert them here.
Got more milkshake than police. Hey, man, who can handle me? I think I should be in museums because this body of massacre.
So yeah, Megan came in October, and after October, I went home for my parents' homecoming. Their homecoming, I went for the first time, not last year, but the year before, and it was so much fun. So I had to come back, and I will be going back this year. I mean, it's just too much fun. I went home for their homecoming, and that was in October. And toward the end of October, it was Halloween. Oh, Aaliya, of course. It was Halloween at the end of October, but it was also the weekend of the military appreciation game. So I was back in Clemson in October/November. And yeah, had so much fun there. All of these events, I'll be sure to insert a few clips like from the games and when I went home and everything like that, so that you guys can see.
Screaming. The intensity of the moment was very real. Now the final score, 1957, Auburn 14.
So November was rolling around, school was still going great. I was communicating with a lot of people in my class because one particular class, which was health psychology that I was taking, we had to do a lot of group projects. So I was communicating with a lot of people, and that's where I met my friend Angel. I still talk to Angel to this day. Angel is like one of my close friends at Kennesaw. So I really, really enjoyed having her in my class and meeting her, along with Mary, along with Jamie, along with everybody else in my class, and especially the ones in my group, because we spent a lot of time together when we had to do our colloquia. If you don't know what a colloquia is, go ahead and look it up. Spent a lot of time with them, and at the end of November, I went home. At Kennesaw, we got a week for Thanksgiving. I came home on, I think, that Monday. When I came home, me and Nakia were planning our birthday. So we had already been planning our birthday since the beginning of November. We were having a little kickback, so of course we had to make invitations and everything like that. So I ended up making the invitations, and I did a pretty good job. That was like the last week of November. So we got our nails done, we got our hair done, and then we had our kickback and Thanksgiving. 4 days straight we were just busy, like busy. Our kickback was on a Friday. The next day was the USC and Clemson game, so we went there. It was just a lot, but yeah, we had so much fun at the USC and Clemson game. After that, it was basically the last week of that semester of my first semester, and I did go to school on my birthday because Nikki and Tavana actually came back down to Kennesaw with me in Centuria. We went out to dinner and we celebrated me and Niki's birthday. That last week of school was pretty smooth. I had my exams. Before I went home for Christmas break, my friend Angel invited me to her Christmas party, and that's where I went and I met 3 of her friends who I still talk to this day. First semester was amazing. I didn't know that I was going to have that much fun when I moved to Kennesaw, because I thought, you know, I don't know anybody, this is kind of awkward, yada yada yada. But I really did put myself out there. I put my YouTube channel out there. I gained a lot of my subscribers from Kennesaw, so that's really, really good. And yeah, other than that, I think that's pretty much it. So before we move to the second semester, I have a list of things that I learned first semester and also some things that I learned second semester. So first semester, I adjusted to living without Nakia. And like I said, we have been living together our whole life. My family as well, my mom and my dad, having them in the same city. the fact that they were 3.5 hours away was like, wow. So I just had to adjust to that. I think I did a pretty good job. And like I said, it wasn't that hard because I did see them a lot. You know, Georgia and South Carolina are right there and the drive was only 3.5 hours. I say only because I'm so used to driving, but it is a long while when you're driving by yourself back and forth. So something else I learned my first semester is how to become an adult, like without my parents. I learned to start cooking on my own. I had to start grocery shopping on my own. I was just doing a bunch of adult things that really helped me become more responsible. So now we move on to second semester. So second semester was different. I took all of my classes at the school until, of course, the coronavirus came around and all of my classes were online. I took child development, human development, research methods, and I'm missing a class, human sexuality. So I took all of those classes at the school, like I said, before COVID came, and I really liked it. I'm going to brag on my friend Lindsay. I met her the first day of child development class. Our teacher, of course, did the whole, you know, turn to your neighbor and introduce yourself and all that kind of stuff. So me and Lindsay like looked at each other, and she's like, she was sitting on the right of me, and like we like looked and was like, I guess that's us. And we started talking, and I feel like we just clicked. She had been dating her boyfriend for 3 years. I was dating Zach 4.5 years at the time. So we just clicked. Then I was getting in the mindset of me really wanting to work out and see a change in my body. And she was already doing that. Like, she was obsessed with working out. That was like her therapy. So we clicked on that end. And ever since then, me and Lindsay have been super close. She was actually in my other research class. I didn't know that, but we were doing, of course, another introduction game, and she was like, I saw you when you walked in. I was like waving at you, but you weren't paying any attention. I had to brag on her for a second, but yeah. I did a lot of stuff. My second semester, I also started to get more into the gym in February. Like I said, with the help of Lindsay, she literally wrote me out a workout plan. If I can find my phone, I can show you guys the workout plan. She literally typed me a workout plan with everything that I need. Cardio and abs, back and biceps, the HIIT workouts, chest, shoulders, and triceps, and glute and hamstrings. So she really did that for me. February was also a difficult month because my friend, but Zach's best friend, Martell, he actually passed away, and that was difficult. It's still pretty hard to talk about because it happened so sudden. And yeah, that's all we're gonna say about that. It's still a very sensitive topic. So moving on, also in February, I went to my first heels class. So much fun. I was supposed to go to another one in March, but I was out of town. But yeah, I would definitely go back to one. Hopefully she has more. I love that class. So in March, again, this is when the coronavirus and stuff started to really spread. I was able to go to Angels lacrosse game. I went with Nakia. Nakia was in town that weekend because it was the weekend of Martell's funeral. So Angels game was that Sunday and Martell's funeral was that Saturday before the game. So we were able to do stuff that weekend, and then the next weekend after that, we went to the beach. I did do a vlog, so I'll be sure to link it in the iCard above, whichever side I forgot. We were able to do that, and things just started to get a little hectic after spring break. When we came back, we did have like a St. Patrick's Day kickback with a couple of our friends from high school, and that was so much fun. And after that, I was back in Kennesaw, and then I came back home for spring break and everything like that. I did a little quarantine update after I got back from Alabama. We quarantined with some friends down there. So again, it will be linked down below. I can only put 5 things in the iCard, so if they don't fit, it will be linked down below. At the beginning of May, it was actually the 1st, my mom and sisters were coming down, and my boy Yorkie, he was acting a little strange, and that night he ended up passing away. So Cody's death was sudden, If you guys have fur babies, then you know that fur babies is like losing a best friend. This was so difficult for me and my family, especially me and Centuria, because he lived with us the entire time we were in Kennesaw. So it was just weird. I don't talk much about it. The waterworks will start to come if I do. I just wanted to mention that. So I did go through a lot of stuff second semester, and by the grace of God, I was able to get through it all. I was also able to finish this semester, well, spring semester, with all A's, made the president's list. I finished off the semester great, even though there were a lot of rough, rocky patches in the road and everything like that. But yeah, I'm super proud of myself. Things that I learned second semester was to branch out more. I started to branch out, started to put my YouTube channel out there, and I started to have a lot of fun. Loved it. Loved going to the gym, loved hanging out with Lindsay. I just really enjoyed myself. I was still going back home, like I said, especially during quarantine. So again, I didn't spend that much time away from my family and my sisters. I also learned to just appreciate the little things. With Cody and Martell, it's like we had no idea, you know, that was going to be our last time together. Cody, you know, I saw him every day. The day that he passed, he was with us and everything like that. But I'm glad that he was able to have my mom, all of my sisters. My dad and my brother weren't here, well, weren't in Kennesaw when it happened, but you know, they were on the phone and everything like that. So now that we're done talking about the semesters, I want to give you guys a quick what I plan on doing. So I have signed a lease for off-campus student housing. I think that's what you call it. I don't want to live in like a regular apartment complex because I do want roommates my last year. So I already signed a lease. I move in around the second week of August, third week of August, and I know school starts back on the 17th. They say that school is going to be on campus, but you know, we'll see how that works. Me and Nakia are going to be split up again because she's going to Clemson and I'm staying at KSU. So congratulations to her again. Couldn't believe it. She was so excited. She was crying. I mean, I'm so happy for her. And she's like, you know, why don't you go up there too? I'm like, I only have one more year, so I might as well just enjoy my time at KSU, and then, you know, we'll see what happens after graduation. So yeah, now I'm projected to graduate summer of 2021. That's still my plan. I have already signed up for my fall classes. I'm currently taking summer classes and they end on July 20th. So I'm still on the right path of moving things. Sorry, my hair is annoying me. But yeah, I'm still on the right track with everything, doing pretty good. Love KSU, so proud of myself. And I cannot wait to see what senior year brings. This summer we have been, like I said, super busy, but I'll try my best to record as much as possible. We do have a trip already planned in July, so I will be filming that for Tavana's birthday. And yeah, I think that's pretty much it. All right, everyone, that's it for today's video. Make sure before you leave, you like it and subscribe down below. Also, before you leave, make sure you go down in the description box and follow me on all of my social media. And I'll see you guys in my next one.